Welcome. You are watching the video on how to fix your 9-week assessment for Mr. Broviak's class in English. If you scored lower than the 23 out of 30, then that is why I'm here to try and help you out. You are more than welcome to fix it to up to the 23 out of 30. If you get higher than the 23 out of 30, then your grade is already as high as it can possibly go. If you're one of the kids who got under a C, meaning you got the D or an F, you can at least raise it to a C and try to help yourself out. Step one, you're going to need to go onto Canvas, find the submission that you already did for this assignment, and you're going to find this area which is going to be your rubric, where I went through and explained where you lost points for it. This is what you're going to have in order to fix your particular assignment. So go onto Canvas, find this particular assignment, find where it has comments. That's the first step. Once you have done that, then you're going to have to find the rubric for the paragraph. That is going to be over here. So this was the first thing we looked at. That was number 1. Over in this area is going to be number 2. Click the little button that says looking at the rubric, and it's going to show you the rubric for this. If you did not look at the rubric when you did this before, now is the part where you're going to need to look at it so we can try to help you out. It is going to be the next necessary step. So hit that little button. This brings up the rubric for the assignment. If you had not looked at this rubric, that might explain why you had some struggles on it. So this tells you that you're going to have a topic sentence, your things that are going to support it with different evidences, and then you're going to have your clincher sentence that goes into it. So these are all the parts you have to have for yours. So now that you saw what you did wrong and you see where your grade is, and now you see the rubric, now we can start trying to help you improve things. So let's go to step 4. So before we get to step 4, So here I went through and wanted to make sure you saw the fact that what I'm looking for you to do for this one is you have to have your main idea where you're telling me what it is. When you answer that question, which said, does video games affect your physical health? You had to make a statement telling me, does it or does it not? Just a sentence saying that, where you tell me, do you think it does that or does it not do that in some way? Then you're going to have to get a supporting sentence, a second supporting sentence, and then a third one with 3 different ideas. This is what messed a lot of people up. You had to have 3 different ideas supporting your idea. And all 3 of these ideas had to come from the articles. They had to come from the articles. All right, step 4. Compare the rubric to what you did. And as you can see, for each one, it has topic, sentence, first supporting, second supporting, third supporting, and conclusion. That matches the same things over here. Topic, first, second, third, and then your conclusion. So they're all going to be the same thing as they connect back and forth. So if my example one, which was one of the kids that turned it in, so you look at theirs that they turned in, it says their topic sentence, they got 1 out of the 3 points. So that means this area over here, they only got 1 of the 3. The next, their support with evidence, they did great on this. So apparently they got all 3 points. But then they must have just stopped their paragraph after that point. So it means there is no other information in this, in here, or a conclusion. So that says right there, 0, 0, 0 in that bottom area. So that's, you have to figure out, where did you miss yours? Did you lose points for not having a topic sentence? Did you lose points for not having other supports? Was it your conclusion? Look at your rubric to figure out what it is you missed points on. That's your next step. All right. If you have not read the articles, you have to read the articles. There's no other way to do it since all the information has to come from the articles, and I'm not telling you what to write. You have to go read those articles. If you've already read them, you're good to go as long as you remember them. If it's been a week since you read them, then you might want to go back and take a look at them. If you've read them recently, then you should be good. If you've not read them, read them now. You can find them, there's a link to them on the homework assignment, or you should hopefully...
Rose, please call session 5701. Mr. Rose,
announcements.
5701.
Should be able to find them on the yellow sheet that I gave you before. Now, step 6, you're going to look at your paragraph. So look at and read what you submitted and figure out where you lost points on it, to figure out where it makes sense to try and help you out. So on this one, as you take a look at it, you can read that paragraph, and anything that you did well on, like the topic sentence for this one, they only got the 1 out of 3 points over there on the right. So obviously their topic sentence is missing on here, where it says, if you are staying up till the 4:15, then that's a problem. That's their opening sentence. That does not tell me, it doesn't answer the question of, does video games affect your physical health? I need you to tell me video games are affecting your physical health, or video games do not affect your physical health, period. Something along those lines where you just make a definitive statement that I can understand. Then you're going to go into the supporting of it in some way. So look at yours and figure out what you did wrong on it. And then you have to use this information over here to figure out where the mistakes were. Let me walk you through it baby step-wise to try and make it as easy as possible for you in some way. So as you go through and take a look at it, look at your first sentence. The first sentence in your paragraph. Does that first sentence have a definitive statement where you say whether or not video games affect health? That's all I'm looking for. The first sentence I read was looking for you to say video games impact health or video games don't impact health. That's it. That's all your first sentence is. Sentence 2, you have to mention a fact from the articles that supports you in some way. So if you're saying that video games negatively impact health, mention something from the articles. Mention that they talked about obesity or sleepiness or sore muscles. And then mention the article, something in there where it says, this doctor said this or this lady said this. You have to bring in evidence from the articles. I'm grading you on knowing that you read the articles and that you referenced them. If you don't reference the articles, I cannot give you points. For sentence 3, it is a different fact from the articles. So if you had mentioned obesity in the first one, in sentence number 3, you now talk about sleepiness or something along those lines, or find a fact from the articles to convince me. Sentence 4 is a different fact. So you have to go in there and find a third fact. Now you're going to talk about sore muscles or something like that. And again, reference things from the articles. It's going to require you looking in the articles. Sentence 5 is your conclusion. Restate what you're trying to convince me of. Playing video games has no impact on physical health as long as you do it correctly. Something like that, where you're just trying to give me a statement where you make a definitive thing. That's it. That's all I needed for your 5 sentences. The first one where you make a statement, give me a fact, give me a different fact, give me a third fact, all supporting yourself, then restate what you're trying to say. That's all I needed. Simple as that. All right, so then look at the one you did. Any sentences that are wrong, rewrite them. So anything that you lost points on, just fix it. The ones that you did well on, you can keep. And then you can rewrite and fix things so that it makes sense in some way. If you think your whole paragraph needs scrapped, scrap the whole paragraph. Start over. I'm fine with that too. It's up to you as long as your final paragraph you turn in works. That's what I'm looking for. Then, step 7 continued. Here's an example one. If it says, all right, if you're staying up till like 4:15 a.m., then that is a problem. So that was their topic sentence. That does not answer the question. It does not tell me, do video games impact physical health? It kind of says it, so I gave you 1 point, but that does not definitively tell me what I need to know. Then it goes on to say, teenage kids are staying up later than they should playing video games. That good, but that does not actually connect to the articles. In the second passage, it says teens don't value sleep because there's too many things going on to distract them. That mentions the articles. Nicely done. Now you've gotten your 3 points here. Check. You have hit your supporting of that one. This statement is very true because teens get distracted with what they are doing, such as video games, and the time flies by. That's still the same thing. You have not gone on to new information. Teens, a lot of teens get about 6.5 to 7.5 hours of sleep when the average is 9 hours. That's still not new information. So you're still talking about sleep. All of this is talking about sleep. There's no new information there. So that is why you got no points, no points, no points, and there's no conclusion. That's why you have to fix that one. All of your information all went to the same idea. Here's a different one. Let's look at this one. It says, Yes, it does, because when you hold your body in a certain position for a long time, for hours, and do the same movements over and over again, after a while, this repetitive movement can cause some strain, physical body parts such as the neck, wrist, elbow, and more. That was all one. That only got a point because the issue is you did not make a definitive statement. You went straight into using evidence, but all you did for your topic sentence was, yes, it does. Yes, it does what? Yes, it does. Yes, it does collect owls on the weekend. Yes, it does chase monkeys through the forest. Yes, it does. Doesn't tell me what it is you're talking about. Then it goes on to say you hold your body. So that was our issue on that one. Then let's see. And this things cause pain for the body, but as people stop playing games all the time, that pain will go away. Also, people say that video games are the cause of obesity. So the problem you have here is you mentioned a little bit connecting back to the article, so I gave you credit for the fact that you got close to it, and then you jumped to a new idea with obesity, but you didn't mention the articles. Since you didn't mention the articles, you didn't get all of your points on that one. And people say that the video games lead to some health problems, and some people stay up all night playing video games, and that could lead to some problems in the body because of lack of sleep. Also, people play video games for too long and they don't exercise enough, and that can have a bad effect on the human body. That references what it taught. You don't mention the articles, but you talk about the same things in the articles. So I was nice, and I gave you 2 out of 2. Problem is, you just ended there. There's no conclusion. So that's why there's no conclusion points on that one. Let's take a look at the third one. For this one, it says, in the first article, the main idea is how staying in the same position for too long can make your body sore and hurt. There's no topic sentence at all. You never once tell me whether you agree or disagree or how it's going to impact us. So you jumped straight in to this one, so you got a 0 on your topic sentence. That you're not getting much real activity, and that is going to hurt your physical health. And the second article is talking about, so then it jumps to second article, but again, you're giving me information, but you never go on to tell me anything else. You never, in the rest of it, playing games does not hurt your health, but playing it for a long time and not having breaks in between and staying in the same position can be really bad for you. Overall, I think that some articles have a good point and some articles don't. What you need to make sure is that you're being healthy and moving and have breaks while playing video games. So this whole last part of it becomes your conclusion, which is why you got your 2 out of 2, but you never had a third example and stuff like that. So that gives you an idea of what I'm looking for. Fix what you did. Make sure you have your intro, an idea that supports it from the article, new idea that supports it from the article, third idea that supports it from the article, and a conclusion sentence. Then once you've done that, submit it and make sure you do it by the due date, which is Saturday night, and then I can give you all of your points. Hopefully that helps you out. Good luck. Wish you luck. Thumbs up. Let me know if you have questions.